Welcome back. From rhino poaching to perlemoen poaching, the Department of Agriculture, Forestry and Fisheries says it's not winning the war on poaching. It's conceded that dire poverty is forcing fishing communities to plunder already depleted perlemoen stock. Department officials addressing members of Parliament's Agriculture, Forestry and Fishery Portfolio Committee said its own attempts to protect the species may be backfiring. Colleague Abra Babia and cameraman Hubert Slingers compiled this report for a view from the House.
In recent weeks, the small fishing community Horston in the Western Cape was a town on fire. Community members angry following the drowning of an alleged poacher. He drowned after authorities were alerted that illegal activities were allegedly taking place. The community blamed the police for the young man's death, and chaos erupted in the little village. Despite perlemoen poaching being directly linked to international crime syndicates as well as the drug trade, the young man's death highlighted the lengths residents here have to go to in order to survive.
Not so long ago, I went through the internet because I was concerned about what is going on in South Africa, and I wanted to look at the global trends. There was a study, I think it was either conducted by the US agency that looks at global environmental crimes, and poaching, especially abalone poaching, is linked to your rhino poaching at a global scale, and also the drug trade. When people talk about abalone poaching, you must immediately also think about the tick, because that's what they are linking it to. The tick, which is a drug to South Africa. So if we are able to reduce drastically poaching of abalone, that invariably impacts on the flow of tick into the country. This is the report that I saw from that agency. Now, the big question that is being asked by the honorable members is, are we winning the war against abalone poaching? I think, Mr. Abraham, that was your question. I think when we consider this question, we must also be mindful of crime in general in the country and also globally. The same question can be asked. This is a reflection how we deal with abalone poaching and the kind of challenges that are confronting us. They are a microcosm of the whole crime scene in the country and how we're dealing with it.
The department says poverty is driving people to the extreme.
We have taken a decision to close abalone in certain parts of the country because the stock is getting depleted. And I think the honorable members were right in saying, in the process, we have created poachers, because a lot of those people are dependent on the resource. Our approach is informed by what science tells us. If science says at sea the stock is getting depleted, our natural response is to say we should not allow fishing to take place. Maybe as we do that, we also need to be looking at the socio-economic impact of such decisions and have interventions that are going to deal with those kind of situations.
MPs are not happy. They want to know if the Department of Agriculture, Forestry and Fisheries is winning the war on poaching.
It's estimated that about 8,000 tons of perlemoen is stolen every year. I mean, and it's increasing by between 15 and 25% every year, and yet you keep it the same.
We don't come out strongly when we find that the assets of the nation are being plundered. They are being plundered, they are being stolen from the next generation, Chair, and it'll take time to replenish those assets.
The department conceded.
As a department, yes, we're trying our level best, but from the trends over the years, it is clear that we are not winning the war. We cannot fight poaching in totality, but ours is to attempt to reduce it with the resources at our disposal.
The department says despite working hand in hand with intelligence agencies, the Hawks, the National Prosecuting Authority and the Defence Force, it cannot fight the scourge of perlemoen poaching in its entirety. Abra Babia for a view from the House.
Let's take a break. When we return, we'll bring you a fiery debate during member statements in the National Assembly.